Is it important to say no? Maybe it is, maybe it isn't. Let's see. Let's do it. Hello. Is it important to say no? What do I mean by should you just say no? So, where I'm going with this. So often in life we essentially just say yes to literally everything. People say, can you just do that? Yes. Can you do that? Yes. Always yes. And often that comes from a very positive thing. It comes from a wanted to help people. So I literally meet people say, would you help me do that? Absolutely, of course I will. Or can you just help me? Can you come here? Can you do that? Always. And I think there's nothing necessarily wrong with always saying yes and helping people. However, there's a very, very fine line between doing things and just saying yes all the time and where it hits the detriment to you. And that's the problem, and that's what I want to kind of address in this video. So often we say yes, we help people and things like that, I've often even said, I'm happy to help anyone, even at the detriment to me. And ultimately and it sounds kind of weirdly wrong, but I want to qualify it. But it's kind of, I will go out my way to help anyone, but the problem is when it's at the detriment to you or me, whilst it's a good thing you're helping people, the downside is that it's kind of like a win-lose situation. What you ultimately want is a win-win. So it's not saying don't help other people or don't put yourself out or don't make the effort, whatever it may be, unless there's some payoff to you. That's not the point, whether financially or favour or whatever. What the point is help other people, absolutely, fill your boots. But if you're just helping people and it's very one-sided, yes, that's very altruistic and amazing. But if you as a person are kind of going downhill because all you're doing is giving, not good. Again, just clarifying, there's nothing wrong at all, and I'm not saying this is bad, of helping other people and giving. But ultimately, you want to maintain yourself. And this is maybe perhaps a controversial point, because traditionally maybe it's pointed out that, okay, you want to help people, give, etc. And it's not about you on how you think and how you feel. But if all you're doing is giving and helping and that to other people, but you yourself are sort of suffering and kind of losing ultimately, whether it's emotionally, financially, whatever it is, the point is, but you're not at least maintaining, you're literally degrading down, then in the future you're not going to be able to help other people because you have lost resources, whether it's emotionally, financially, or whatever it is. And that's the point, because it's the classic thing, taking it back to sort of a higher level, where they say if someone is in a fire or falls in a river, what you shouldn't do is jump immediately in or run in to save them, because you need to sort of think of yourself, your own safety first, and then if you can help them. Whilst perhaps maybe the knee-jerk reaction is to kind of run in, I'm going to save them. But if you get into trouble in that fire or in that river, then someone else has to then save two people. So maybe initially it seems a bit selfish and not very kind of giving, but when you're going to be helping other people and giving to other people, you have to also consider yourself as well. And it's not necessarily what you're going to get back in return, or financially or whatever. It's more kind of, is there going to be sort of and this sounds very maybe overly dramatic, but is there going to be any damage to you in doing that task? Because if you're doing things to help other people and each time it's sort of reducing you and taking something from you, after a period of time you're not going to be able to help anyone else, because you'll be so sort of ruined and just degraded of services or energy or finances or whatever. Whereas if you sort of think, okay, I can help these people, but I've got to sort of be aware of the sacrifice or the level that is going to maybe reduce me by to help. Again, it's a very, very fine line between that. No, I'm not doing anything unless I get paid for it or I get something in return. But being aware of the effect on you it has of doing that task, that's the bigger thing. I think this sort of plays out for everything I kind of want to sort of share generally, is being aware of how everything we do affects us, and helping other people, you know, whilst that's an amazing thing, you have to be really aware of, is there any detrimental effect to us and to me as a person, as opposed to just, yeah, I'll help everyone. Because if you end up completely ultimately destroyed as a, whether it's emotionally, financially, whatever it is, as a person, but you've helped everyone, yes, those other people, they've grown, they've achieved stuff because you've helped them, but you are now this sort of quivering wreck shadow of your former self, and therefore you can't help anyone else, let alone yourself. So it's been just, the point of this is about saying no. I'm thinking about helping other people, absolutely, not a bad thing, but also being aware of how much that has a detrimental effect on you. And yeah, it's not about just being selfish, or it's not about being completely selfless. There's got to be a balance in the middle, and I think that's the key. I personally don't know the answer to them. I really don't. Where the balance is, because if you're too selfish, bad. If you're too selfless, bad. That balance is a difficult one, and I honestly don't know the answer. So whilst I like to kind of give an answer, a sort of conclusion to advice or a sort of a topic, this one I really don't know. It's a very, very difficult one, and so it's something that maybe I think I'll kind of address later in another video. But really, if you're too selfish, bad. If you're too selfless, actually also bad. And it's trying to find that happy medium in the middle, obviously, is the difficult thing. But I think the point I'm making here is being aware of how you are and what the effect on you is, and that in itself is at least going to help you not be completely sort of depleted or destroyed by being overly altruistic, you know, ideally. So whilst it's been a bit vague, sorry, it's ideally kind of at least provoking a thought, that's the point. But if you do like this and you haven't subscribed already, I'd really appreciate it if you do, and hit that bell notification so you know when I'm releasing a new video. And if you do like this, smash that like button so it's blue, and leave a comment kind of wherever you maybe said yes and you wish you hadn't, or kind of maybe you've said no and maybe regretted it. Just kind of get some kind of comments going. I'd really appreciate that. I do reply to every comment. But for now, have a great day and see you tomorrow. Bye bye.